Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching. Hello, what's going on, freakazoids? Well, it's official. Yesterday's live stream was the lowest in a month and a half. I just looked it up. I didn't realize that. Just saw it just before the show. Oh boy. Well, let's see if we can do better today, huh? Hello. Hello, Jennifer Lee. Yeah, so I put out that video earlier. It's only got like 5,000 views total, which isn't really that great. So I guess we'll see what happens. Never seems to be a rhyme or reason for anything. Just one video gets seen, the other one doesn't. It's like Lorna's from the UK. Awesome. I had my mic on. I was wondering if there was some weird, I mean the speakers probably was sounding a little echoey for a second there. I wonder why sometimes when I post my videos it has the audio's choppy until you re-upload it, like you hit refresh and then, I mean it's just during the premiere, so it can't be on my end. I mean if you can refresh it and it sounds normal, then it can't be my end. Yep. But hey, this is another live stream. Hopefully on this stream, if you guys can help support the channel, that'd be great. Last night was our lowest night in about 45 days at least. Worse than any night of the entire month, the last month. So, you know, it's hard to recover sometimes when you have an early month day like that. So if you guys are out there, maybe you missed the donation night or whatever the hell it was, if you guys could help support the channel, that would be great, because it's the only way that keeps me able to do these live streams and my videos, etc. Because the videos, I mean, who knows? You can't rely on the videos. I make them to help augment, but at the same time, there's no way of knowing what a video is going to do or not do. Some videos people watch and share, and some people just watch and they don't share, and some people don't hit the like button, and some people, you know, so if people aren't hitting the like button, it doesn't get, YouTube doesn't put it into the algorithm. Hey, thanks, Joellen Bracken. Alright, so we've got an update on... I mentioned it in the video that I had earlier today. But the missing Utah girl 15 is found alive 6 weeks after vanishing in thin air. It sounds like she's really doing well, healthy and everything. So what was she doing? You know, did somebody actually pick her up in that the trafficking world that had a conscience or something? I mean, who the hell knows? I just don't know how this all worked out. It says a 15-year-old girl missing for 6 weeks after she vanished from outside her school has miraculously been found alive 500 miles from home. Alisa Petrov, 15, disappeared on April 21st after being dropped off at school in Utah, getting on a train out of town, and then asking for help to get to Las Vegas. Nothing was heard from her until she walked into Stetson Hills Police Station in Colorado Springs on Sunday night and identified herself. So she just walked into the police station. I mean, could she have just been hanging out in the, you know, there's a lot of homeless young people, and maybe she was hanging out with them and then just decided, this sucks, and then, but I mean, what was she doing in Colorado Springs? I looked up all 3 of the predators that have been arrested, which include that Glines guy, Mitchell, and another individual we'll get here in a minute. Hey, thanks, Patty Mills. All right, the Australian basketball player. Wow, I feel so honored to have. Yeah, all right. Well, thank you. I mean, we've got Linda Howell in here too, noted a radio figurehead. You know, she used to be on Art Bell all the time with the cattle mutilations and crop circles. Oh yeah, it's amazing. It says Alisa Petrov, 15, disappeared on April 21st after being dropped off at school in Utah, getting on a train out of town and asking for help to get to Las Vegas. Nothing was heard from her until she walked into the Stetson Hills police station. I mean, 6 weeks later, not a peep, and then boom, she walks into the police station. Hey, thanks, Deidre Gambrel. Watch, people are going to say, that's Linda Howe, Gray. Yeah, you watch, Linda, watch. Hey, let's see, and it says, police said the teen was in good health, but is still unknown where she was or if she was being held against her will. Right, I mean, did she escape from somebody? Alisa's parents have been notified of her location and are working with South Jordan police to bring her home. Hours after she went missing, her frantic parents, Olga and Nikolai Petrov, discovered their daughter had a terrifying double life when her secret iPad was found hidden in her dresser. The teenager dug the long-forgotten device out of a dusty old box and was chatting with 3 men accused of exchanging graphic and explicit messages with her. All 3 are now behind bars. Nikolai announced on Facebook that Alisa was found and that the family would soon travel to see her in Colorado. We are all really happy that Alisa is found and looking forward to seeing her, he wrote. Special thanks to the South Jordan Police Department who worked on weekends and to the Salt Lake City FBI who helped them. Thank you to all our friends for your help and support. On April 21st, Alisa was dropped off at her school, Canyon Grove Academy in America Fork, about 32 miles south of Salt Lake City. Instead of going to class, she bought supplies at a nearby Speedway gas station and convinced a man there to drive her to the local train station. I don't remember hearing that. That seems kind of new. Alisa got off the train in Provo, about 14 miles south of American Fork, and asked multiple people there to help her get a bus ticket to Las Vegas. And Las Vegas is where one of the predators wanted to meet her. And that's him right there, where it says the next sentence, where she had arranged to meet Matthew Nicholas Menard, 35. Olga but then the thing is, Menard said, yeah, why don't you go to Las Vegas and I'll see you there in a week or two, or I'll see you there at the end of May. I mean, what the hell does that even mean? Yeah, run away in April and I'll see you there late May. What in the hell is she supposed to do? I mean, in general, the whole story is crazy, but I mean, what was that concept? Like, hey, thanks, Leon Littlejohn. Did you catch any bigger fish? Thank you. Yeah, so I mean, I'm not sure what she was supposed to do in Las Vegas for a month while she waited for this Menard guy to get there. Olga last week told DailyMail.com her daughter had about $1,000 saved from a pocket money. And I guess somebody who said that she must have had a lot of money. That's not too bad. 1,000 is not a little tiny amount. So I don't remember who said that. I think it was Mike somebody, or I can't remember. One of you said that she must have had a ton of money on her. But I mean, 1,000's pretty good. It's not like saved from pocket money and birthday gift that she didn't spend after she turned 15 on April 16th, just 5 days before running away. Somebody else is either helping her, and we don't know who or where. I'm not suspecting the worst, she said. That means she's with somebody else, and we don't know if it's a good person or a bad person. I thought it was a good chance she was still alive in the trafficking world. I just, now I'm not really sure what the hell's going on, I mean, this is one of the guys right here. That's Samuel. And see that this middle name here to me seems contrived, like it's related to what he does, And then William Taylor Glines, 37. I mean, he looks like a totally normal person, don't you think, when you look at that guy? No, you just got home 20 minutes ago. Nice. And then this guy here, right here, Matthew Nicholas Menard, 35, from Miami, was charged with aggravated sexual exploitation of a minor, enticement of a minor, and criminal solicitation. Police found no child porn of Alisa on his phone, but allegedly found disturbing conversations with two other girls, one confirmed to be 15 and another who appeared to be about 12, and nude photos and videos of both of them. So he was working on trying to get Alisa to send some. I mean, these people are just sick, Just all three are just Stephen Stearns. There's so many Stephen Stearns out there, it's almost unbelievable. I mean, I don't know, man. I think there are, tens of thousands of predators just like these three in the United States. Like, I think it's probably close to 3 digits. I mean, 6 digits, like way up there. I guess with 350 million people, if 1% of them are like that, I guess that would be, what would that be? I mean, 10% of that would be 35 million. So 1% would be 3.5 million. That'd just be 1%. So let's just say it's half of a percent. Then it's like 1.75 million. I mean, that's a huge number of people. And I think I think if you've been watching this channel over the years, it's sort of evolved into where it seems sort of rare-ish. I mean, not rare, but like it wasn't. Now it just seems like there's so many of them. It's I didn't realize the magnitude until the last, I'd say, year or so, where we started looking up stuff, and then you just realize it's just so many predators. And despite what the reasons are that Alisa went out, the fact remains that 3 predators were communicating with her. Hey, thanks again, Leon Littlejohn. And yes, you two guys, if you're out there, if you could please help support the channel tonight. We got to make up for yesterday. Yesterday was, for lack of a better term, abysmal in terms of trying to reach the goal for the end of the month, or be at the end of the month, be able to do something. Hey, thanks, Deidre Gambrel sent Craze Investigates a gift membership. We have Maybe Sunshine, Inkling, Molly Clifford, More Than Enough Budgets, Deidre Gambrel. Thank you. Ah, man. Really, really wild. I mean, just... I wonder what... I just want to... This is one of those stories I want to know what the actual reasoning is. Like, what happened here? I mean, was she just somebody that was enticed out of the house? I mean, maybe there were problems with the parents at home. Like they didn't get along. Usually somebody doesn't run away unless you're kind of miserable at home and you're not allowed to do stuff or whatever. And not that that's bad. I mean, that's what parents do, right? But some kids just go, I can't. And then these predators probably play on that instinct for, especially, I would say, girls that are like 14 or 15. Seems like they don't like to have the mom bossing them around, so they go, I'm going to get out, and they run away. And maybe these predators play on that and say, oh, you should just take off, man. Hey, I could meet you over here. And then she just sort of, got together whatever she was going to get together. I mean, did she pack clothing and whatnot to take with her? I don't know. It's weird stuff. Yeah, so regardless, there was 3 predators communicating with her, and then let's see what pictures they've got in here, and then she took off. I wonder who this lady is here. Is probably married, or maybe this is like the what is it? She is very inappropriate conversations online with you. Well, yeah, but what do you mean? They had inappropriate conversations with her. Five bottles of whiskey. Oh, those being pretty good bottles of whiskey there. $600 bottles of whiskey? Oh man, that sucks. Yeah, maybe that's like Madeline Soto's, Jen Soto right there. This lady right here. I know, we know that, Jeannie. We went over the whole thing. We've gone over all that stuff. Right. She said, don't come look for me. Right. So she must have been having conversations. Like, who would you say that to? If you were a girl, who would you tell to somebody, I'm running away, don't come look for me? That sounds like something you would say to somebody that you're sort of mad at. Right? I'm running away, don't come look for me. But you really want them to come look for you to see if they care. Something like that. Wow. 2,800, Jesus. Right. But you didn't watch yesterday or the day before either, right, Jeannie? Yeah. All right. Let's see. So very scary. I work in the funeral industry. It's crazy and sad how often it happens. Yeah, we've followed the case too. We're just saying, we don't need the little details. Yeah. This is the third or fourth time we've discussed this case. I don't just cover one, like lately I've been covering a lot of the Idaho case, and we'll be doing more of it tonight, but I've covered over, probably 2,000 or 3,000 cases on this channel over the last 5 years. Well, thanks, Richard Watts. Yeah, Roblox seems to be one of the... You always see these predators. When I look them up on a specific program, they seem like they have Roblox on there a lot. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Cemetery. Let's see. All right, you guys are having one of those lulls, so if you're out there, if you could please help support the channel so we don't have tonight like last night. All right, I would appreciate it. Just would be it wouldn't be good if we have 2 nights in a row that are just yeah. Anyways, what really matters is that she's home, safe, and there's predators everywhere, so it doesn't matter what city somebody lives in or anything like that. Every single city has thousands and I think thousands of predators in every single big city. So wherever you live out there, just make sure your kids don't have access to be able to communicate with these nut jobs. But she made it home, so hopefully we'll get to hear what happened. But it wouldn't shock me at all if we don't get to hear anything, because she's a minor, and you often hear, we just need time to heal, we don't want to, and then you never end up hearing the story. If it's a bigger story involving, different elements that they feel like is worthy of discussing it with us, then we might hear something. All right. Any other thoughts on that? I mean, I looked up all 3 of the predators and didn't see any Colorado Springs connections. So I don't have any idea why she ended up in Colorado Springs. No idea at all. Zero. Like, I didn't find any connection at all with Menard, Glines, or Mitchell. That's right, hit that like button. Yep. Just looking at the comments. Where did I put those? Oh, yeah. There. I was going to take a look at these. Like, I have this folder full of the important files. Maybe we can look at those again in the case. I always forget little tiny things, but I'm trying to make this other video regarding, the 10 most significant elements that point to Kohberger. Maybe I would just do like 5 and 5, or I don't know, but I try to put it together where it's sort of one thing leads to the other. I mean, in that last video that I just made today, Somebody said in there, you know, I can't believe you keep saying it's him, but there's not a shred of evidence at all that Kohberger was ever even in that house. It's just, these people are cuckoo. Insane is not too strong of a word. And by the way, what's going on tonight on YouTube where it's difficult to get 200 people again? I don't get it. I think it was because I should have reversed it in the title. Put Kohberger first, then maybe there would have been. Who knows? Remember, there was often. I don't know. Somebody sent me a message. Do we find out at the trial? No. There's no documents for that. Anyways, let's just take a look at some of these things again and just kind of read through them. And these are I put this folder of all the ones that I think, and if you can think of a folder or a file that's even more important, that'd be great. We have not found out yet, though. I'm looking. I think it feels like sometime this week he'll decide on that. But also, I'm wondering if he's going to make his final decision after the hearing on third-party suspect. Because if he decides, oh yeah, that's a good point, then he's going to give them extra time to sort of dig into that person if he thinks it's something worthwhile, you know. And I just think, I don't think there's any chance in hell that he comes back with that. Oh, they're all over the place, man. When I make my videos, in the comments section, you see them all. The Kohbergers always pop in. It's wild. It's crazy. All right, this one was from back in. This one's February. So this is when all the stuff that I like was coming out. You know, things that I find really, you know, if I was on a jury, these are the things that I would focus in on. You know, this is when it comes now. Brian C. Kohberger, by and through his attorney of record, and hereby moves this honorable court to exclude a trial testimony by any state witness as to the make and models. This is when the defense is like, hey, you can't tell us what the make and model. This motion is made pursuant with all these different, you know, 103, 104, 401, 402, 403, and 702, and further based upon Mr. Kohberger's rights to honor the United States Constitution, 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment, and Article 1, Section 13 of the Idaho Constitution. This court is required, to the extent possible, to limit a jury's exposure to inadmissible evidence. The state has claimed in various filings and reports that an FBI forensic examiner, Anthony Immel, identified the make and model of the vehicle when driving in the area of 1122 King Road in the early morning hours of November 13th. The state has referred to this as suspect vehicle 1. And so she sort of picked this one shot here where the vehicle isn't quite as, you know, easy to see as others, and then she picks this one too, although we've seen footage of it while it's actually moving around. I think I have it in here somewhere. Yeah, probably, yeah, like in these little clips. Alright, you guys, how do we get the ball rolling tonight? We're having another night just like last night. If you guys could help support the channel, I would appreciate it. My channel relies on you guys on these shows. Alright, maybe that's not a good model, but that's just what we've been doing for 5 years. So my channel relies on the generosity of the people watching for me to keep doing the shows. And that's also what allows us at the end of the month to be able to give away. Like last month we gave $5,000 out from ad revenue, the super chats, etc. From the people watching. So if you guys have the ability to, I would appreciate it. We're getting, this month we should probably reach the $250,000 given away since January of 2020. But we'll see. Right, so I think this is when it's coming in at 3:30. You know, I'll tell you what's interesting though. I mean, so like, what time is the one, that shot that she has here? See, that's, let me go back up here. This is 3:56:30. I mean, that's an absolute clone, right? So we know it's the same car every single time, right? And I think, like in a shot, like right there, look at that, right there, where the headlight isn't hitting it, you can kind of make out the window, that's about it. But they have the full video where it keeps moving, right? So they're probably able to see a hell of a lot more. And this is just me recording it off of Dateline. But you know what's interesting? If you look at this shot, one of these coming up right here, it looks exactly like, so let's see if I go right, maybe here, something like that. And then you look at this one, this one's at 3:56:30. So see that? It's the same damn vehicle for sure, right? Here, let's just move it to where it's almost identical. Yeah, it's like right here. Yeah, it's not, I don't have the original, so it's hard to, but I mean, there it is. Look, see those two shots right there? Those aren't even the same loop. They're 20 something minutes apart. And let's see you again on the next one. Is that when it's coming back in again? Yeah. So they didn't continue it around. See, that's why, God, I can't stand these people. They just, man, these agencies, they don't really understand what's important, so they just kind of, yeah, see, this is the time where they didn't show it coming in again. And that one does show it coming in, but, oh, there you go. So that's the one that they used in the document at 3:56:30, right there. That shot right there. That's the one that they used. Yeah, and so Brian Kohberger, he drives a white Elantra, and it's missing a front plate. No, well, they say it's a lime green Elantra. Apparently there is somebody in there that has a lime green Elantra and is possibly missing a front plate. But if you can explain to me why a lime green Elantra that lives in the area would drive loops around its own property, let me know. I don't, oh, he was dealing drugs, Gray. So he drove 20 feet to deliver drugs? Wouldn't he just walk over there? Well, that's a good point, Gray, but we just, you know, it's not him, so. See, that's one of those deflating things when I just explained to everybody, like, hey, everybody, this is what we need to happen on here, and then it's just nothing. That's when I'm just like, oh, boy. Very deflating feeling. You know, I worked my ass off, and it's just hard to make it. Anyways, this is the car leaving at 4:20, and they're saying, you can't make it out. These photos are from 1112 King Road camera. Special Agent Immel did not make a video identifying a vehicle identification. He did not make a vehicle identification, was not made from this footage. Rather, as noted in emails between Mr. Immel and FBI agent Edward Jacobson, it is clear that the identification of the make and model of the vehicle in the video was made via a separate video taken at 1125 King Road, or Ridge Road. Right, so that Ridge Road right here that's the one. I mean, it's so amazing because that Ridge Road shot right there is that one shot that was only happened because of the DoorDash delivery driver happened to be there, so he drove away down Taylor Avenue and then around, and then we got the one time it drove by Ridge Road right over here. The one time it drove by this direction, and then a camera right here picks up the fact that it's missing a front plate. And they say, well, it's not right there. Well, it's within 0.6 miles, and they're actually able to see the car coming down like this, the white Elantra, but not going into here. And then I don't know what the deal is with this camera right here, the 1320 Linda Lane camera. Yeah, I think it's a good chance it'll continue as scheduled, but I could see the judge, you know, remedying the leak by giving them a little bit more time. Who knows? But thanks, K-Me. But Gray, don't you know where was an Elantra convention at 4 a.m.? Oh, there was a Elantra convention at 4 a.m. Yeah, that's what they say. I mean, there's 50,000 Elantras with 18,000 people living in the town, so I guess they all have 2.5. It's amazing. Most boring vehicle city in the nation. Every single person has 2.5 of those. Thanks, Leon Littlejohn and Deidre Gambrel. Who does the freaks think Ann Taylor will name as suspect? I don't know. Whoever drives the lime green Elantra. No, I'm not law enforcement. I've made animations for prosecutor, and then also for a private investigator. But I don't. No, I don't think you. I don't think you have to work for law enforcement to be able to think clearly. I think if you've covered as many cases as we have, you can think the same way as them. Unfortunately, if you don't have that moniker, everybody goes, "Oh, okay, well, you know." I can tell you this: I can think through cases, and I figured out cases better than the cop people who do YouTube channels. Okay, the people who call themselves cops. Oh, I used to do this and I used to do that. I mean, if you just compare over the years, we've just blown them away. It's not even close because we actually look at the factual elements and put it together. Some of these cops actually entertain the idiotic conspiracy theory realm shit. Okay, but it's just it's absolute truth. If you've been here, you've seen it. Yep, he's a nonsense kind of judge. Let's see. Yeah, it says there's no continuous footage linking the vehicle, like as if you have to have a camera on every single house following it around. It's on enough of them. Additional surveillance footage depicts vehicles, but not identifiable vehicles, thus labeling the cars from various bits of footage as the same vehicle. Well, it isn't, though. I mean, sure, it's like circumstantial. It's speculating on, like, okay, you see a video, and then 30 seconds later it's over here, and then it's over here. I think it's just obvious. Sure, you know. See, these guys rely on the most ridiculous crap. Anybody with a brain, if you're on a jury, would believe, wouldn't think it's reasonable to believe it's a different vehicle at that point. Well, thanks, Theon Pickett. The speculative nature of testifying that the vehicle is the same vehicle renders it irrelevant to these proceedings, far more unfairly prejudicial than probative. This is also a jury question, and testimony calling the two vehicles the same invades the province of the jury. Thus, this court should exclude testimony, and that's just absolutely got denied. I mean, it's just garbage. I think this might even be well, this is the state's response to it. So after that was put out there on March 17th, the state responded to that ludicrous motion there. I mean, it was just garbage. So this is, comes now the state of Idaho, by and through Latah County. On November 13th, 2022, Moscow Police Department responded to 1122 King Road. And Payne, I guess, King Road, the crime scene. And then the attached exhibits. I mean, this is a really long one, so I don't know if I'm going to go through every single bit of it, but let's see if there's anything different up here. Maybe we skip past this. Deceased individuals who died from apparent stab wounds. Investigators canvassed the crime scene area for surveillance footage to identify the person responsible. A surviving roommate, Dylan Mortensen, reported to law enforcement she was awoken at around 4 a.m. by noises. Investigators were able to obtain surveillance footage from 1112 King Road, a residence immediately to the northwest of the crime scene. The video surveillance picked up audio, voices, or a whimper, followed by a loud thud. In addition, a dog can be heard barking starting at 4:17 a.m. Dylan Mortensen reported around this time she saw an unknown male in the residence walking towards the rear exit of the residence. So she actually saw him turning, like I think if we go to the end here, I mean, see that shot right there? He's walking by, and then I think in the next one, yeah, see? And there I have him, his feet down there. Like he's walking into the kitchen and is going to go out the sliding glass door. Walking towards the rear exit of the residence. The 1112 King Road video shows a white sedan, but it's lime green gray, entering the crime scene area at 4:04. That's the one shot that we did not see in the Dateline episode. And that's why I suggested the possibility that that's when it passes the DoorDash driver, who may have just merely sat there for an extra 2 or 3 minutes. This white sedan is seen departing the crime scene area at 4:20 a.m. at a high rate of speed. Based on this information, investigators focus on identifying the make and model of the white sedan, hereafter suspect or questioned vehicle, seen on the 1112 King Road surveillance. On page 6 and 7, the suspect vehicle is seen on 1112 King Road surveillance prior to the homicides. Suspect vehicle makes 3 initial passes by the crime scene before entering a 4th and final time at 3:30, 3:33. These are when it passes the camera. Let me see what I have in my... I don't think that... It doesn't sound quite right. Okay, yeah, so I guess it's 3:30, 3:33, then it should say 3:38 and 3:41. Is that right? 3:38 and 3:40 it has. I guess it's 3:41:01, so maybe they have 3:40 and 59 seconds. And then 3:56 and 3:58. Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. It's using the westbound on Queen Road time. So let's see. We had 3:30 and 3:33. Yep, 3:30, 3:33. And then 3:38 and 3:40. Yep. And then 3:56 and 3:58. Yeah, okay, so that matches what I have here. So it's right here, 3:56, 3:58, 3:38, 3:40, 3:30, and 3:33, and they don't put the seconds in there on that. Video surveillance capturing the suspect vehicle was collected at additional places near the crime scene prior to the homicides. 1311 South Main, also known as Sunset Mart. Additional places near the crime scene. Sunset Mart. Isn't that the A&W? Should just right over here. Yeah. Yeah, so there's an A&W right there. So that's the one they're talking about there. And that's only 0.6 miles from scene at 3:28. And then 1125 Ridge Road, which is only 0.4 miles from the scene at 3:29. And 4:01 a.m. And then 1320 Linda Lane is 0.2 miles from the scene at 3:29. But see, Linda Lane should have picked up that car at least one other time. And that would be at the 4 o'clock time frame. Who cares about the bloody glove? That was placed there by a YouTuber. Let's not worry about that. 0.4 miles from the crime scene at 3:29 a.m. and 4:01 a.m. 1320 Linda Lane, 0.2 miles from the crime scene at 3:29 a.m. 1330 Linda Lane, 0.3 miles from the crime scene at, we already did that, 3:30 and 3:39. Yeah, so these are all close, right? 0.3 miles from the crime scene at 3:30, 3:39 a.m., 3:56, 4:05, and 4:07. And 451 Paradise Drive, which is 0.6 miles from the crime scene at 3:35 and 3:48. And that is right here. That's where Paradise Drive camera is. So there's a camera here where every time the vehicle drove around like this, it came around, and then this camera would pick it up, and then it would do a U-turn often, come back this direction, and they go this way. Now there's 2 or 3 times where the vehicle comes around like this, but does not enter into here, and then we don't have any indication that it passed the 1320 Linda Lane camera there. Hey, but what's going on, you guys? This is the second night in a row where we have these massive lulls and people aren't supporting the channel, and I need your guys' support on a nightly basis. And it kind of sucks when you mention that and people just, yeah. All right, it's really important for us to continue to be able to do what we do at the end of the month. And I'm doing whatever I can. I'm doing the shows. I'm trying to make the videos. And I need your guys' support at the same time. And it'd be nice if it was from, you know, like Leon Littlejohn's always helping out quite a bit. And, you know, I'm sure other people can help as well. So if you're out there, please consider doing that. This is the second night in a row where we're just big struggle. Investigators provided footage to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, determined the year, make, and model of the suspect vehicle on the 1112 King Road surveillance. Payne affidavit, page 7, forensic examiner Anthony Immel. And thank you again, Leon Littlejohn. Or Leon Littlejohn. I mean, we also currently have now we have 1 coffee in here, of course, by Lisa Valenzuela. Thank you, Deidre Gambrel. And but if you're not familiar, I mean, everybody in here is familiar with what we do, right? Like, there's nobody in here that doesn't get it. Investigators provide video footage to the Federal Bureau of Investigation to determine that make and model of the suspect vehicle. And forensic examiner Anthony Immel reviewed multiple videos and still images. According to Immel's report, the multiple submissions of media were reviewed. See, what's wrong with doing it like this, where you identify the vehicle on the Ridge Road camera, and then when you see it on other cameras, you can see the consistency of it and determine that you believe that that's the same vehicle. Why do you have to have the same clarity? Like, that's what see, for me, it's like circumstantially and visually, you can tell that that's a white Elantra, especially when it does its 3-point turn behind my number 52 500 Queen Road. You can see the window shape, everything. And I think there might be some, I don't know, when it does its 3-point turn, what does that look like? I guess we have that in here. So that's right here. Yeah, can't you just, I mean, look at that. That's a white Elantra right there. That's exactly the shape. You know, look at the window. Ah, shit. Not sure what happened right there. I have to go find it again. I think that's probably it. Just look at that. Thanks, Sandy Shirley. So I always thought, right when it backs up in here, it's just those damn headlights, they blow out so much. I think you can see the fin right back here. Right there. And that's a different one, by the way, than the one that she provided and tailored. See, right there, when the lights go underneath there, you can really get a good... See, right there, and it blows it out again, but I think you can see the windows there. And I actually think that light right there is the fin on the back of the car lighting up. It just had a specific angle on it. See right there? Boom. That little light right in there. Boom, boom, boom. That's the fin. Yeah, and then, but just prior to that, look, there it is right there. See, now it's doing the 3-point turn behind, and you can see the shape of the window on that one, right? That's exactly the shape of the Elantras. You can definitely see that. And I think, I'm not sure if, let me see, let me back this up a little bit. And it sits there for like 12 seconds and then it backs up. And there it goes. And then after it does that and turns around and leaves, I mean, it's so obvious. So whatever it is, I hope even the Kohbergers realize that it's the same vehicle, right? The vehicle that's driving around these 4 different laps is the same vehicle each time. There's no doubt about it. Thanks, Shamo. And then remember that I have it drive down there, and then right there does the 3-point turn. Take a look at that one more time, or maybe a little bit further out like that. I mean, there's probably some like specific moments where you can, like right here, you know, you can see that it has that little molded area that sticks out a little bit on the side. And then it definitely, you know, that the shape of that window is going to be the same shape as the window behind 500 Queen Road. So, you know, they'll go, well, how do you know, Gray? Well, what do you think? It's another vehicle switched out with it in the same, at that exact second that has the same, you know. That's what I'm saying. These people have zero, I don't know. Like, they don't know what the word reasonable means. Yeah, I said you could see the antenna on when the light hits it. I just said that. Were you paying attention? Or yeah, it's like, I think that's what this light right there is. That shiny on the roof there is hitting just the antenna, like right there, and then it kind of, yeah. Hey, good night, Leon Littlejohn. Thanks you for all the help there with the channel memberships and whatnot. Without your support tonight, we'd be having, in the midst of another one of the worst, I mean, just a horrendous, I'm not sure what's happening. Maybe it'll pick up later, who the hell knows, in the month. If Kohbergers don't think it's him, then why can't they ever give at least one reason it isn't him? Well, because there isn't one. There isn't anything. Immel was able to compare the video to the video from 1112 King Road. The video was okay. Let's see what it says right here. FBI report of Special Agent Anthony Immel. Of those videos, the 1125 Ridge Road video provided a clear view of the suspect vehicle. Make, model, chart number 3 attached as Exhibit S5. Immel was able to compare this video to the video from 1112 King Road. The video was captured at 4:01 a.m., 3 minutes prior to the suspect vehicle entering the crime scene at 4:04 a.m. Hill report at page 89 regarding the questioned vehicle, the vehicle of the 1112 King Road surveillance. Immel's opinion is, it says, the questioned vehicle shares similar class characteristics with a 5th generation Hyundai Elantra between 2014 and 2016. I think I'm going to grab that. Jesus. I don't even know where did I put that? The 31st? Kohberger. No, it's not in there. I'll just put it in there. Immel report on page 23. Okay, so here it says the questioned vehicle shares similar class characteristics with a 5th generation Hyundai Elantra between 2014 and 2016. The similar class characteristics include, but are not limited to, the overall body style, window configuration, front grille configuration, headlight shape, side trim, rear brake light configuration, rear license plate position, and rear bumper position. Now, the position of the rear bumper reflector and the shape of the fog lights assisted in narrowing the vehicle year span. I think that's using the Ridge Road. Immel report, a white 2015 Hyundai Elantra was registered to the defendant at the time of the homicides. Washington vehicle registration records attached. The suspect vehicle was identified from surveillance footage from the area of the crime scene. Where is this? Save as. So it was on 6-1. Weird. Didn't see that. Kohberger 6-1. Kohberger 6-1. Okay. Put it in there. Thanks, Shay Shay 530. That's crazy, Shay Shay. Thanks anyways. Appreciate it. The state's expert regarding vehicle identification, Anthony Himmel, should be allowed to explain to the jury his opinion that the suspect vehicle on 1112 King Road surveillance shares similar class characteristics to a fifth-generation Hyundai Elantra. The suspect vehicle was identified from surveillance footage from the area of the crime scene. Yeah, I guess this is similar to what I have. So here we go. Look at it. It has all these different time frames. So the King Road camera picked it up at 3:30, 3:33, 3:38, 3:40, 3:56, 3:58, 4:04. It's actually more than that. I mean, it's 4:04, 4:06, and 4:07, or 4:20 and 47 seconds. And then the 13. Oh, this might. Maybe this will give us. See this. See here. Look at this, you guys. This is the part that really doesn't make a lot of sense right here. Is the. You know, the 1320 Linda Lane camera only has. They even put in this document. So remember we were talking about that, Zozo. So even in this document, it only says at 3:29. Although it is missing 2 from here. But it only has 3:29 that they see the vehicle driving by. And then Ridge Road over here has 3:29, early 3:29s, because it's 3:29:46 when it passes Linda Lane right here. And then right here it's like 3:29:04. And then it sees it again at 4:01, because the rest of the time the vehicle drove in like this and was driving around back here, you know, looping around. It never went back this direction. But then that one time when the DoorDash driver was there, it went this way and around like that. But the 3:29 a.m., if at 4:01 when the vehicle drove by right here, it should have shown up on the Linda Lane camera at approximately 4 o'clock. Should have been there at 4 o'clock right there. Does that make sense to everybody? No, that's not it, Elena. That's not it. They listed down here. They list every single motion. That's why it's very strange. There's no explanation for it. And the odd part is that on the online version of that same video, it says in the video, it's a 5-hour long video, that it's missing between 3:30 and 4:05, which is exactly the time frame that law enforcement is missing in what they're saying. I mean, it's just not there. The video captures footage in the middle of the night from approximately 3:35 a.m. to 4:07 a.m. where there is light vehicle traffic, especially in Moscow, Idaho. From the review of the surveillance video, investigators were able to determine the suspect vehicle's path of travel based on the witness direction of travel associated with the timestamps from the review of 1125 Ridge Road video, which admittedly proves the best view of the suspect vehicle. Investigators were able to determine that the suspect vehicle shared similar class characteristics to a fifth-generation Hyundai Elantra between 2014 to 2015, this says. I've seen 16 also mentioned. This video was taken at 4:01 a.m., approximately 0.3 miles from the crime scene, based on the 1125 Ridge Road surveillance. And that vehicle is white, by the way. That vehicle is absolutely white. And the other surveillance investigators can determine the suspect path of travel as follows. See, this purple is what the vehicle, that's what it did at the 4:01 time frame. So you see it says 4:01 right there. So prior to that, after the sighting of the DoorDash driver, when he leaves at like 3:59-ish, he's right over here. He does a U-turn, comes back, and then he drives this way. He had to pass that Linda Lane camera, and they don't mention it. Then he goes all the way around like this. And then back, and then he enters in for the final time into the complex. It takes approximately 3 minutes to travel from... you don't think they found what? Can I kick it? Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying, like, you know, what your idea up there is I think that no, that isn't what they do, though, Elena. Because, I mean, what Elena's saying is great. They probably only list the videos. Hey, thanks, Leon Littlejohn. Only list the video they can prove the easiest is the same car. That's not it. Because down below here, they do the whole thing where they go through every single movement of the vehicle, and they leave out, again, that. Because you can't, I mean, the 329 version, it's still a tiny little car driving in the distance. So I don't know why it's not mentioned later. I guess we'll find that out. But that might be something the defense brings up. Like, well, how come the car you didn't bring up this? You know, and it's weird because the online video is missing exactly the time frame that would contain those. So does the camera really just randomly, is it just missing 3:30 to 4:05 miraculously? Sleep well, Leon Littlejohn. The state's expert should be able to opine, based on his analysis and the surrounding circumstances, that the surveillance is picking up the same suspect vehicle. I totally agree. Okay. That's what I mean. There's circumstantial evidence, the similarity in look, and it matches up with the one spotted at 4:01. There does not need to be continuous footage. See, that's what a lot of the Kohberger nut jobs think, that every single house has to pick it up, or somebody else could have jumped in with their own Elantra and the other one parked in the garage of that person. I mean, it's crazy. Defendant argues there is no continuous footage linking the vehicle at 1112 King Road footage, and that from Ridge Road, the defendant's motion, page 3, defendant argument appears to suggest that because every single business and residence surrounding the crime scene did not have video surveillance, the state should be precluded from introducing this evidence. This is illogical. That's right. So that's exactly what I always think when I'm talking, when I'm, listening to these Kohberger nut jobs. We don't know what that is. I don't know what that emoji is. It's some weird face or something, like flipped upside down maybe, or I can't even remember what that is. This opinion would not be speculative as argued, but instead based on logical, educated inferences from review of the surveillance video, including observed traffic flow, direction of travel, and timestamps. As the court has seen in the defendant's other filings, the defendant tends to label bad evidence for the defendant as irrelevant and asks this court to prohibit the state from introducing it. That is not the rule. Under Idaho Rule of Evidence 401, evidence is relevant if it has the tendency to make a fact more or less probable than it would be without the evidence. And the fact is, that's a good way to look at it. Like, that's what circumstantial evidence does. The evidence is clearly relevant, as the defendant owned a 2015 white Hyundai Elantra at the time of the homicides. Defendant argues, pursuant to IRE 403, this relevant evidence should be excluded. The defendant fails to show how this evidence is unfair. Well, it's unfair because it makes him look bad. Confusing, misleading, would cause delay, waste time, or would be cumulative, much less than the evidence probative value is substantially outweighed by such. While this evidence is prejudicial, relevant evidence tends to be, it is not unfair. The state anticipates Mr. Immel will testify in accordance with his expert opinion at trial. The state anticipates other state witnesses will refer to the vehicle identified on surveillance footage as a white sedan. The jury should be able to hear Mr. Immel's opinion regarding the make and model of the suspect vehicle, weigh this information with other testimony or evidence admitted, including the area video surveillance special agent Hill's testimony, as well as what is offered by the defendant. In conclusion, the state respectfully requests that this deny. I don't know what that meant. I don't even know what that means. But yeah, I think it got denied. And so when you scroll all the way down here, hey, welcome, Mindy. All the way down here, it, these are the different cameras. 787, those are all right when the car comes into play at like 326. This is the A&W when it's getting closer. This is Ridge Road, getting closer. 1320, getting even closer. And then inside the complex itself, 1112 King Road. And then it goes through and it talks about how accurate each one is, etc. And then goes through every single camera in here. Talks about even the ones later in the day, the Costco, etc. And then these are the sightings in the Moscow, Idaho, Pullman, Washington area. And it goes through every one of these things meticulously, including the, right coming up here, there it is, 32948, the Linda Lane camera footage using the 1320 camera. And then it goes through every single tiny, the lights, etc., etc. And it never mentions it again. And it should mention it again prior to the 401 sighting, because it drove north on Walanta Drive, did not pull into the complex, and then within a minute later it's driving by Ridge Road. And why don't we have the footage of it on the 1320 Linda Lane camera again? And is it missing? Really? I mean, that's the thing. Is it actually really missing? Thanks, K-Me. So, it goes through, I've already gone through all of these, but look at all those. And I just don't believe, I still have I feel a lot better. I just, my nose is still plugged a little bit, etc. I think I walked today, a couple miles, so I feel pretty good. Some pretty steep hills. But you guys, currently right now we're at $44.94. And I'm pretty sure you guys are aware that's not even close to reaching a goal. So if you guys are out there and can help get the month started off a little bit better, I would appreciate it. Oh, and Leon Littlejohn did a coffee. No, it's not a new one. So I didn't. Some of the stuff I didn't read all the way through the beginning. I went straight to the timeline. It's not new. Might be new to you, you know, because you weren't really interested in it. So it might be new, you know. But anyways, we went through this whole thing. I mean, it talks about Costco and how he pulled up there and then he wasn't allowed in. And like right here, an individual matching the description of Kohberger appears to be denied entry into Costco and leaves out the entrance. This is down in Clarkston, and then is seen traveling westbound through the Costco parking lot, and then again, and it leaves there, then eventually ends up at Kate's Cup of Joe, etc. So they've got him just absolutely, and the crazy part is it's the same vehicle the whole time. It's suspect vehicle 1, and now Kohberger's phone is with him and it's on. I think what's going to happen, I've told you guys this before, see, this is my huge timeline that I've been putting together. The huge moments in the timeline are going to be things like this right here, or just even right here. Watch, see that? Because the blue is the CAS data, meaning the cell phone data shows vehicle is back near Pullman, and then right here at 5:26, within 22 seconds of that, a vehicle matching that description is seen driving on Bishop Avenue. And then right here at 3:30, CAS data phone is consistent with him heading home. And then look at that. The vehicle is spotted on, you know, Stadium Way and Cougar Way right there. And then this one, remember at 9 in the morning when he goes back over there? At 9:12:59 or 9:12, his phone pings is in Moscow, and the CAS data shows that the phone utilized the same resources as 1122 King Road. And then just a minute later, a vehicle is spotted driving right next to the A&W, which is 0.6 miles from the residence. See, that's huge. And then I think there's other ones, like even later, right here, at 12:34, an individual matching the description of Kohberger appears to be denied entry into Costco. And then the CAS data shows Kohberger's phone utilizes, I think this is, what time is that one? Oh, that's 2 minutes later. He's over at Kate's Cup of Joe, which is just right up the street from there. So that's it's got it all in there. I mean, this thing, I think those are going to be huge moments for them. Like right here, even 2:44 in the morning, Kohberger's driving his Elantra. That's on Southeast Nevada Street. And then right here at 2:47, the CAS cell tower data shows Kohberger's phone in Southeast Pullman. So it's like they match up. These things are like this. The light blue and the red, when they're together, means that there's a vehicle looking like his in the same area that his phone is pinging. And these are in different places, you know, like, but he turned it off before he went to Moscow, Idaho. Hey, don't be a dumpster fire. Did 5 memberships to Paisley Dreams, TWH, Liz Roberts, GP, and Jan Lynn. But yeah, my nose is still a little bit pluggy. All right, so I'm not going to keep going through that. Well, let's see. What else is in that? Hold on. Is there anything at the bottom of that? Yeah, I think this has images. So hold on. I did want to go look at those. So it's really cool. Like this thing, it was so cool that, like right after the probable cause document came out, I was able to figure out this crazy little loop that it did based on almost nothing. I mean, really, it was weird how we figured that out, but it was right. Let's just rotate this. All right, so let's take a look at this vehicle right here. And then this is the one where it's at 1125 Ridge Road. And for all you nut job pro-burgers out there, this isn't the lime green vehicle. And the reason we know that is because we can see the red of the tail lights, which means that the camera there is not using night vision. It's just a regular camera, probably really slow shutter speed, and that's why it's kind of blurry. You can see the fin is ultra long there. It's not really what it looks like, but we do get a good look at the window shape there. So I thought, well, hell, why don't we look at when it does its 3-point turn back here. Like right in there. Maybe something like that, and rotate it. Like that. And then zoom in. So you look at the shape of that, and then just look at the window shape there. And then look at that. See that? I mean, that's exactly what it looks like. That's a white Elantra, you guys. I mean, there just isn't any doubt about it. Here, let's try this. Let's do this. I haven't tried this yet. Come on. Thanks, K-Me. Well, let's see what happens. I gotta rotate it. I mean, this one's also got motion blur on it, so it's hard to... And it's also a different angle, but I just wanted to try it. Maybe something like that. Yeah, it's like it's a little bit longer. Like, that's one thing that's hard. If you don't have the right angle, it's hard to get the... let's see, maybe it's a little bit bigger, like that. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, again, like this one has motion blur on it, and the other one's sitting still. So it's hard to get it perfectly, but you can see, like, see how much blur there is on the fin back here. So it's hard to say exactly, you know. Is it squishing up the whole look of a window like that direction? But it's got the right points and the right size and everything. And I've actually used the white Elantra that I purchased, and it fits perfectly on there. So that's probably a better thing to use, because this is a moving, motion blurred image. Of course, those are the kind of things that the Kohbergers go, see, look, and they just use it. Like, for example, even the window, look at the rearview mirror, how blurred that thing is. It's probably right there, and it goes back all the way to there. So that means probably, like, you know, some of the window area isn't even exactly the same. Come on. Oh yeah, Johnny Walker, nice. I'm wondering if they know who he almost ran over. I don't think he almost ran over anybody. I think he just meant like he almost hit a vehicle. We don't see anybody walking around in that clip. Alright, I'm going to have to try it again, you guys. If you're out there, if you could please help support the channel, that'd be great. I'm a little bit frustrated that I have to ask over and over and over and over and over again. You guys know what we do on this channel each month. And I don't know. Not really sure what to say. Alright, let's see. Order to finish motion limity, make and model. So I think this is the court's decision on it. And they say it right at the bottom. Based on the foregoing defendant, motion limity to make and model suspect vehicle is denied. Alright, so let's see what the judge said again. In the early morning hours, November 13, 2022, surveillance video from various locations near the crime scene picked up footage of what law enforcement believed to be the same vehicle as suspect vehicle 1, the white sedan that was seen probably arriving, is what it meant to say, at and let's see, the white sedan that was seen maybe to arrive at and then depart from the area 1122 King Road at the time of the homicides. From one such video, law enforcement determined the vehicle was a 2011 to 2016 Hyundai Elantra. You know, that is pretty interesting, isn't it? Now that you think about it. You know, when they determined it was a 2011 to 2016 Hyundai Elantra, that was using the 11, right? Hold on. In the early morning hours, a location near the crime scene picked up footage of what law enforcement believed to be the same vehicle as suspect vehicle 1, the white sedan that was seen arrive at and then depart from the area at 1122 King Road at the time of the homicides. From one such video, law enforcement determined the vehicle was a 2011 to 2016 Hyundai Elantra. Thanks, Michelle H. Defendant seeks an order precluding the state from referring to the vehicles depicted on various surveillance videos as the same vehicle, i.e. suspect vehicle 1, and from asserting the suspect vehicle 1 is a 2014 to 2016 Hyundai Elantra. He argues that these are speculative conclusions that invade the province of the jury. The state responds that it intends to elicit expert testimony establishing the vehicles are the same, and such testimony will be neither speculative nor otherwise improper. Hey, thanks, Mindy. Oral argument on the motion was held on April 9th at 2025, after which the court took the matter under advisement. The court finds that the state may present expert opinion that the vehicle depicts in the videos are the same vehicle as suspect vehicle 1, as well as the make and model thereof. The admissibility of expert opinion testimony is discretionary. Let's see. Following the homicides, law enforcement gathered video surveillance from various locations surrounding the crime scene, including from the King Road residence. Immediately, the 1112 King Road residence, immediately to the northwest of the crime scene. That video footage showed a white sedan, suspect vehicle 1, enter the King Road residence at 4:04 a.m. and then depart from the area at a high rate of speed at 4:20. The same footage showed that law enforcement believed to be the same vehicle make 3 initial passes by the crime scene in the 30 minutes before its 4:04 a.m. entry. Hey, thanks, R&B. And you know what's crazy is, remember how I used to say that the vehicle would leave on Walanta Drive, and then it appeared to be contradicted by audio. But then it turns out that in every single pass, the vehicle left on Walanta Drive, just as we originally said a long time ago. But none of the people that kept trolling me over that one specific element have come back and said, you know what, the damnedest thing, Gray, you actually had that right. Thanks, RMB. I love when I always say this, but people always say, Gray, you just always have to be right. You always think you're right. And I'm like, yeah, I do. You know, I actually think through things before I'm saying them. You know, and I like to be right. Hey, put a 1 if you like to be right. Go ahead. Like, put a 1 if you're like, you want to be right when you have an opinion about something. Go ahead. Yeah, I would hope every single person should say yes. That you want to be right. Yeah, nobody cares. Like, I mean, you know, if I'm wrong, I just take what the right information is and move forward. But I don't think there's anybody in here that says, "Oh boy, I like to be wrong." I mean, you're lying if you say that. Okay, it's just untrue. When people have a theory, they want to be right. You know, you're like, "Oh yeah," because you thought through it, etc. Right? Nobody goes, "Boy, I'm going to say this because I can't wait to be wrong." That's just garbage if you think that way. Well, I guess you. Oh wow, that's like the Star Trek mind game with the drones, the droids, androids, or whatever the hell they were. That Dan Ellen 77 just said. Thought I was wrong once, but I was mistaken. See, but if you were wrong once and you were mistaken, that means you were correct, but you were wrong about being mistaken. So then that means you're have never. Oh my! Incorrect. Yeah, because on the Star Trek episode, it said it's very similar. It said everything that I say is a lie. I am lying right now. But if you're lying right now, then if everything you say is a lie, then that means that's the truth. But if that was... and I got stuck in a little never-ending loop. Right. Yeah, it doesn't... like if I'm wrong about something, I'm going over it and I go, oh, shit. Then somebody else says... something and I go, oh crap, like that is okay, that's right. I just move on with the right thing. Although I hate when people tell you something without giving you the where you got it from. You know, I can't stand that shit. You know, that happens all the time in here. Hell yeah, great. Where? I don't know. I just read it some. Okay, forget it then. You know, yeah. Send me the answer, and then we'll move forward with that. It says surveillance videos from 5 other locations within 0.6 miles of the crime scene also captured what law enforcement believed to be the suspect vehicle 1 in the hour preceding the crime. Based on the direction of travel and timestamps from these videos, investigators mapped what they believe to be suspect. One thing I don't like is that it says that it went south twice in a row. Without it going north again to be able to go south and from the same camera. So it's like, well, one of those can't be right. Yeah. One of the surveillance videos relied upon by law enforcement was from camera located at 1125 Ridge Road. Video footage captured at 4:01 a.m. from this camera provided a clear view of the white sedan depicted therein, which law enforcement believed shared similar class characteristics to a 2014 to 2016, see, not 15, Hyundai Elantra. Well, I mean, 15's in the middle of that, but I've seen it written where it's 2014 to 15. Looks like Lisa Valenzuela took off. While there is no continuous footage showing the vehicle identified in the Ridge Road footage traveling to the crime scene, the Ridge Road camera was located 0.3 miles down the road from the crime scene. From this collective evidence, investigators believe the vehicle seen on the Ridge Road footage at 4:01 a.m. was suspect vehicle 1 captured on the 1112 King Road footage at 4:04 a.m. Let's see. The Ridge Road camera was located 0.3 miles down the road from the crime scene. From this collective evidence, investigators believe the vehicle seen on the Ridge Road footage at 4:01 a.m. was suspect vehicle 1, captured on the 1112 King Road footage at 4:04. Yeah, it takes exactly that amount of time to drive from Ridge Road, like from right here driving around just like this takes 3 minutes to then be able to show up in here, which Dateline, conveniently, the only footage they're missing is that one at 4:04, leading to my speculation that that's when it passed the DoorDash driver. Perhaps, if the DoorDash driver sat there for an extra 2 or 3 minutes and then left, and then he decided to come in anyways. Although, my other theory was that, the first part of the theory is he passes because he sees the car there. So I don't know why at 4:04 if he goes in, wouldn't he have passed it again if he saw it sitting there? Or was he just like, hell, I got to get in there? Don't know. So based on the lack of continuous footage showing the vehicle captured in various surveillance video traveling to the crime scene at 4:04, defendant argues it would be improper for the state to identify those vehicles as suspect vehicle 1 or otherwise identify suspect vehicle 1 as a 2014 to 2016 Hyundai Elantra. He argues any such... I think it's so bizarre that Kohberger's and the defense team make it seem like, because originally it was 2011 to 2016, that they shouldn't be able to reduce it later. You need to keep having it more vague at the 2011 to 2016, because it's just, you said that's what it was originally, and, so that's what it still should be. I mean, there's no way you should have been able to... It's so idiotic. Of course, later on, when you have a different camera, and you're able to analyze it better, you go, oh, well, hell, this looks like more like a 2014 to 2016. But wouldn't it be interesting, just in general, though, if one of the other cameras is what law enforcement relied upon to get the 2011 to 2016 time frame, but it was still a Hyundai Elantra. So they were like, oh, look, it's a white Hyundai Elantra, 2014 to 2016. So they were actually, 2011 to 2016 on another camera. And then with a clearer camera at Ridge Road, they were able to narrow it down to 2014 to 2016. See, I think that would add a lot of credibility to it as well if they had already determined that it was a Hyundai Elantra using a different camera, but then were able to reduce it down to 14 to 16 on the Ridge Road camera. Alright, let's see. Well, we're currently about like $90 short of reaching just a normal goal, you guys. That's how slow this has been. So if you're out there and you have the ability to help support the channel, maybe all together as a whole, if we can get like 17 or 18 more channel memberships, we might be able to get there. I don't know what else to tell you guys. I'm trying my best to get people in to watch and making videos, etc. I don't have anything else I can do. Let's see. And then down here it says, he argues any such testimony is speculative and therefore not relevant, unfairly prejudicial, and invades the province of the jury. The state responds that the testimony is based on logical, educated inferences drawn by law enforcement from the surveillance video. It's just so obvious, I mean, any one of us would do it too. It adds that the testimony does not invade the province of the jury and is highly relevant to determine whether the vehicle captured at 4:04 a.m. on the 1112 King Road camera was the defendant's vehicle. To the extent defendant is attempting to prohibit the state from arguing or asserting as fact that the vehicles are the same, or the suspect vehicle 1 is a 2014 to 2016 Hyundai Elantra, he is correct that it would be speculative and improper without expert testimony to provide a basis to make the connection. However, This prescription does not prevent the state from eliciting such an opinion from law enforcement and asserting this is an allegation during trial based on that testimony. We got a troll in here. Yeah, we're going to have to get that one banned again. There's always these people that make my actual account and then YouTube takes them all down. But did anybody hear what I just said? We're trying to reach the goal tonight. We didn't reach it yesterday. Trying to do it tonight. An opinion is speculative when it theorizes about a matter as to which evidence is not sufficient for certain knowledge and suggests only possibilities. Here, law enforcement opinion that the vehicle captured on Ridge Road camera at 4:01 a.m. is suspect vehicle 1, captured at 4:04 a.m. on the 1112 King Road footage is not based on unsupported theories or possibilities. Rather, the opinion is based on the investigation, training, and experience and education inferences drawn from their review of surveillance footage from 6 locations within a mile of the crime scene during the hour preceding the crime. From this evidence, the investigators were able to map what they believed was the suspect vehicle route of travel preceding the crime, as well as identifying its make and model. Hey, thanks, Simply Suspicious Shauna. Defendant ignores this collection of evidence and focuses instead on solely 2 points of reference. However, the investigators had multiple data points from which they could reasonably infer the vehicle seen on Ridge Road at 4:01 a.m. was the same. Was the same that had been seen driving through the area in the preceding hour, including the 3 passes by the crime scene. Further, based on the direction of travel of the Ridge Road vehicle and its distance from the location respective to 1112 King Road, it is likewise reasonable to infer, notwithstanding the lack of continuous footage, that it continued traveling along Ridge Road until it reached King Road. But now they're saying Ridge Road is also Willanta Drive. Such opinion testimony would not usurp the jury's role in fact finder. The jury is tasked with determining whether the defendant committed the alleged crimes. The state asserts that the perpetrator drove suspect vehicle 1, and based on the totality of evidence, that it was defendant's Hyundai Elantra. The investigators' observations and inferences about the route of travel of the vehicle, its make and model, whether the Ridge Road footage from 4:01 a.m. and the King Road footage from 4:04 a.m. depict the same vehicle, and whether the depictions were all perpetrator's vehicle are relevant to this determination. Thanks, Deidre Gambrel. The jury is free to weigh this evidence and the investigator's testimony against that offered by a defendant and decide for itself that the surveillance video depicts whether it supports ultimate conclusion bearing on defendant's guilt. Finally, defendant's only articulated basis for excluding the testimony, that it would be prejudicial due to its speculative nature, because the court has found otherwise, there is no basis for its exclusion, as its relevance is substantially outweighed by the factor. Based on the foregoing, defendant's motion in limine to make and model of suspect vehicle is denied. See, I like the way, the judge just really explained that, perfectly, It's huge, the surveillance footage. I think it's the least, it's believed to be the least important thing. It seems like everybody goes, oh, the DNA, the DNA. I always talk about the DNA every 2 seconds, or, you know, it's amazing, though, when you combine the DNA with the white Elantra. I mean, I've said this 1,000 times, but like the fact that Brian Kohberger drives a white Elantra that was missing its front license plate at the time, but that he then replaced just a few days later after the homicides, but at the time was missing a front license plate. The fact that there is a vehicle matching that description that shows that it's missing a front license plate within 0.4 miles of the residence at 4:01 a.m. at a time that has very, very few cars driving around, at a time where Brian Kohberger's cell phone was turned off, and it's driving around in the area. And then inside the home, they find a knife sheath on one of the victim's beds, and it's a K-bar knife sheath. And on the K-bar knife sheath is DNA that matches the person, Brian Kohberger, who actually drives the white Elantra missing its front plate that was doing the passes inside the complex. I mean, that's so huge. Like, there's no way a jury could look at that and have reasonable doubt. You'd have to be a complete idiot to think that. Right? So you'd see that. And then we find out that he, in fact, Brian Kohberger, owned a K-bar knife. One that he had purchased the very same year in late March. And then we find out that Dylan Mortensen says she saw a guy with bushy eyebrows. And by God, when you look at Brian Kohberger's driver's license, he's got bushy eyebrows. A guy that was not very muscular, but, you know, thin, or whatever. What was the term? Like fit, about 6 feet tall. And he was wearing a balaclava. Oh, by the way, Kohberger purchased a balaclava in January of 2022 at a Dick's Sporting Goods. So he bought both items that were sort of observed. The K-bar knife and the balaclava all were purchased in the same year as the homicide. But a lot of people buy them gray. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. All right, guys, what do I have to do tonight? Is this one of my jig dancing nights? We got to get the numbers up here. So what do I do, man? How do I do something better? Yeah, the trolls are complete idiots. Yeah, we're about 70 short of me, our goal where I donate the 5 memberships. So if somehow you guys can get there in the next hour or so, I'll donate the 5 memberships. Although, I guess the first 10 of the month are YouTube just lets me gift to people. So I want to give them away when we actually get to the numbers. All right? Can we do that somehow, you guys? Is there a chance? I'm just doing it because I want to keep going, man. We have these whole bunch of DNA projects we're going to be working on. And if we just collapse like we did in January, we're just not going to be able to do any. And I don't know what else I can do differently. Isn't that enough right there, though, you guys? Donate away. Well, there you go. Well, look at that. Cheryl Moran shows up. What happened to the rest of you guys, man? Well, thank you. Well, here we go. Now I'm going to give away the... I think I'll just give away all 10 memberships. Well, thank you, Cheryl. That was very all 10. Well, I'll just do 5. Now I can give more. Oh, there's Leon Littlejohn. Hey, and then I just get to 5. So there we go. Wow, that was very cool. Very good. Another miraculous night. So thank you, Leon Littlejohn and Cheryl Moran. Anyways, thank you guys. Very kind. The more evidence they can get thrown out, the easier it will be for them. Right, well, they're not going to get anything thrown out. That's the whole thing, Juju Bean. You know what I think is weird is there's so many people out there that they spend all their days looking to try to, like, how can we help the defense to get things thrown out so we can get this guy off? But why do you want them to throw out something? Like, I mean, it's almost like you're trying to figure out how to free a cousin of yours that's a killer. You know what I mean? You guys get what I'm saying? Like, it's just such an odd thing that there's people out there that they spend all their time trying to free a killer. What's going on there? Like, they wake up in the morning, they get their little cup of coffee, just like the same psychos on Reddit or all these places that, ooh, gray, ooh, gray, ooh, ooh. They probably get up in the morning, have their stupid little cup of coffee, and think about how can we free a killer today? God. And it's weird, because I could see somebody doing that if it was like your girlfriend or your... I mean, I would sort of understand the sentiment. You're like a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a wife, a husband, brother, sister, somebody like that. I could see looking for little ways to get them off because you know them and they're not going to hurt you and all this stuff. But why do these people do this? Like, why are they doing this? It's weird. It's crazy. It's I don't know. I just don't get it. Like, they're so excited when something gets thrown out. I mean, nothing's been thrown out so far, But, like, they get excited when Ann Taylor makes an argument to get something thrown out. Like the DNA, for example. They were just like, oh, yeah, this DNA, I mean, my God, they broke the guideline. So what? That's not a law. Because he's a PhD student. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, that's what I was trying to keep down and get down in my notes. I mean, to me, this is, man, it's just so crazy about the sneeze. Ah, jeez. Jeez. Like my head almost blew off right there. Yeah. Jeez. Sorry. Hold on, I gotta blow my nose. Oh boy, that was crazy. Yeah. Well, thank you. Thanks, Cheryl and Skid Gore 666. They didn't really think he was innocent. You know, they thought they could change him, you know. Yeah, and here's that, the bushy eyebrow thing again. And I don't know, I knew it was someone. I knew it was someone. Like it was a human. See, that's why this was so funny. I don't know if they have the knife. Sometimes it makes you think that, but I think we kind of determined the way he said that. Man, I don't know. When the judge was saying the knife, he could have just been talking about a demonstrative, the aid that they were going to use. I guess we'll have to see. I think they have a knife, and maybe, you know, some people suggest that there was 2 weapons used. Maybe that's true. I don't know. We've talked about it. I'm like 50-50 on that. I don't know. But like these are like, this is Dylan Mortenson's description here. That's why it was so funny on ChatGPT, because it was like, this is what Dylan Mortenson said. Let's see, it said, I don't know how I knew it was someone, like how it was a person, because it, from my mind, it's like I was almost wearing these like blurry glasses, like it's fuzzy and cloudy. But it was like a figure of someone wearing all black. It was like they had a ski mask that was covering their forehead. Yeah, I gotta get that part. That's what I was looking for. Let's see, like had a ski mask that was covering their forehead and their chin and mouth, but I could see all I remember was seeing their eyebrows. And I don't remember what their eyes look like, but I remember their eyebrows. I don't remember the color of the eyebrows were. I just remember like bushy eyebrows. That's all I could think about. That's why it's so funny when ChatGPT picks up on that, because it's just like, yeah, it's almost like their own entity of some sort. Yeah, skinny build, all black figure, about my height, maybe a few inches taller, skinny build, wearing a mask. See, she was always consistent the whole time. From what I remember, I think he was just like walking past the little wall. Oh, cool. I didn't remember that part. And going towards the kitchen. That's right. You know what that little wall is? Watch. See, that's weird. I didn't really pick up on that. I didn't remember seeing or hearing that until just now. I just remember the eyebrow. I'm just kidding. It's right here. There's this little wall that sticks out right there. Isn't that weird? So that means she's literally talking about that. There's this little wall that comes out. It's right there. Now let's see if we move. Put this like right over here. Yeah, see that little wall? Like this one? That's what she's talking about right there. Wow. So she watched him, didn't just see the bushy eyebrows. She saw him turn and then walk past that wall. Huh. It's cool to see a new little piece of info that I didn't really pick up on that last time. Might have to throw that in the video. And I don't know, like I just remember seeing an eyebrow. For what I remember, I think he was like just like walking past that little wall and going towards the kitchen. And I don't know, like I just remember seeing an eyebrow. I don't know why, I just see one. It was just like one bushy eyebrow. I don't remember the color, like the full shape. I just remember it was being bushy. Yeah, well, I mean, that's what it looks like in this image right here. Watch. Just go back a little bit. See that? All you would see is the one eyebrow on the left. And as you can see, I don't know if that's the wall she's talking about or this next wall, but right there, see? So you would just see the eyebrow on the left eye there. And then down here it says, from what I remember, I just remember seeing this figure that was like, not fat, obviously, but more of like the skinnier tone build and some mask on. I don't know what the mask exactly was, but when I thought about it, it was just like covering here and here. I don't know if it was covering his mouth, his nose, or below his mouth and nose. I just remember knowing that he was white, but I didn't know how he was white. I just knew he was. Well, you mean because he just looked at his you could tell, right? And this knowing, and let's see, and this knowing there's like, I knew he had looked at me because of the bushy eyebrow. Well, that doesn't mean he looked at you. It means his face was, I don't think he looked at her at all. I think he went in there and turned to the right. That's all I remember. But I have no idea what he looked like. I don't like, when I looked at his picture, nothing came back to me at all. So that, like, I don't know. I feel like if I saw that, my mind would be like, oh yeah, that's him. But it's just, I don't remember at all. Well, right. The funny thing is all the defense team, even on that Dateline episode, they try to bring up a point where it was a big deal because one of them, I think one of the experts on the show said, oh yeah, and then, what's the name of the host again? Keith Morris. Yeah, he said, oh yeah, you know how he talks. Oh, and that's not the, whatever, however the hell he does. I should just try to copy him sometime. But they were talking about how, well, she can't even point him out in the lineup. And they made it sound like that's a big deal. That's not a big deal. That's not what it was. He was wearing a balaclava, for God's sakes. How in the hell she saw exactly what she needed to see with somebody wearing a balaclava. She saw his height. She saw he had bushy eyebrow and that he was wearing a balaclava. And it was amazing because the balaclava was proven to be purchased and he had bushy eyebrows. Jesus, I'm going to sneeze again. Oh my God. Oh, jeez. Thanks, Leon Littlejohn. Man. Yeah, well, I think another good point that somebody brought up, and I brought up like 25 times on here. I don't have dementia. I remember that I've talked about this 1,000 times. But it was a good point that somebody made, was if Kohberger was just tired of killing that night, but he knew that Dylan saw him and left, there's no way in hell he just would have sat outside and did blood spatter mitigation. He would have probably taken off immediately Had he seen her, I guess he didn't want to kill. He maybe rushed the blood spatter mitigation and it worked, and then he drove away at a high rate of speed because he wanted to get the hell out of there right then. That's right, the Brows were driving the Elantra. What do you mean kill kit? Oh man, that's just such an overuse. I know one of these experts out there uses that word every single time. We don't know if you had a kill kit. All right, that was one of them. You know what I can't find is the document that has the drawing of the balaclava. Do you know where that one is, Lisa? Right, Lisa. That's exactly what they would have said. If she picked him out of a lineup, they would have said, how could she see him? He was wearing a mask. Right. In the show that BK saw Dylan. Yeah, he worded it that way. He doesn't have any idea. That's just because Dylan said that one time. Yeah, that's just complete garbage. They didn't say that. They didn't say that Kohberger said to Dylan, "It's okay, I'm going to help you when they look." That's not true. That didn't happen. I watched it 3 times. That's not accurate. Yeah, he would have said that to Xana. And that's what they said in there. All they said was Dylan heard her say that. Him say that. Alright guys, if you're out there and you're watching, if you could please help support the channel. The other people out there, see if we can try to make up a little bit from yesterday. That would be awesome. Thank you. Let me go through some of the quotes in here that she made. This is another document. This is the state's response. From my mind, it's like I was almost wearing these like blurry glasses. Like it's fuzzy and cloudy. But it was like a figure of someone wearing all black. And it was like they had a ski mask that was covering their forehead and their chin and mouth. But I could see all I remember was seeing their eyebrows, and I don't remember what their eyes look like, but I remember their eyebrows. I don't remember the color of the eyebrows were. I just remembered like bushy eyebrows. Yeah. I don't know, weird looking ski mask. It was like the regular ski mask with little eyes, and because I saw the eyebrows, and I think I saw his nose and like this part of his face, but I don't know. No, and I don't remember if I saw it. Like, I don't remember if I saw his nose, but I know I saw eyebrows, and I don't remember his eyes. I just feel like I can see eyebrows, but I mean, I just feel like I can see eyebrows. It's almost like on The Sixth Sense when he goes, "I see dead people." She sees eyebrows. But I mean, that could be it. I mean, that would make sense. Why the forehead was covered and this part of his face was covered. Now, I don't remember what his eyes look like. I don't remember what his nose looked like. I just remember eyebrows. I don't know exactly. You know what's interesting about this is like she really definitely remembers seeing Kohberger's eyebrows. Because if you look back at his driver's license image, I mean, those suckers were huge. I mean, look at the. I mean, that picture and it's hard to like. Let me rotate it. I mean, look at the difference. Look at that thing. It goes way off to the sides. I mean, those are caterpillar like. I gotta go blow my nose again. Just a second. No, I don't remember what his eyes look like. I don't remember what his nose looked like. I just remember eyebrows. I don't know exactly what the eyebrows look like at all, really. I just remember thinking like eyebrows. Yeah, bushy, but that's all. Like, I don't remember the shape. I don't remember like the color. I just remember like bushy eyebrows. Probably because it's a little bit dark in there. I couldn't see any of his hair, but I remember just like seeing like it was like almost rectangular. Like not the circle ones, meaning the opening. It was rectangular because I remember seeing like just like I don't know how to explain it, just seeing like this. Maybe I'd be able to see like a cross, but I don't remember seeing his eyes, but I feel like his eyes were there. I could see like an eyebrow. I feel like that's how I know he saw me, because I could see his eyebrows. See, that's all. That's the only reason she thinks he saw him, because she could see that. From what I remember, I think he was like just like walking past that little wall and going towards the kitchen. And I don't know, like I just remember seeing an eyebrow. I don't know why, I just see one. It was just like one bushy eyebrow. I don't remember the color, like the full shape. I just remember it being bushy. I have no clue. From what I remember, I just remember seeing this figure that was like not fat, obviously, but more of like the skinnier tone build and some mask on. I don't know what the mask exactly was, but when I thought about it, it was just like covering here and here. I don't know if it was covering his mouth, his nose, or below his mouth and nose. I just remember knowing that he was white, but I didn't know how he was white. I just knew he was. And this knowing there's like, and this knowing there's like, I knew he had looked at me because of the bushy eyebrow. That's all I remember. But I have no idea what he looked like. I don't like, when I looked at his picture, nothing came back to me at all. So that's like, I don't know. I feel like it'd be cool if she looked at the picture and went, you know, I don't recognize that person at all, but I could spot those eyebrows a mile away. I feel like if I saw that, my mind would be like, oh yeah, that's him. But it just, I don't remember it all. All I remember, but I don't remember big nose at all, like at all. That's like, all I remember is like some bushy eyebrow and all black. All I remember is like some bushy eyebrow in all black. See, that's hilarious. Like, that's all it was. It was a bushy eyebrow wearing a ninja outfit. All I remember is like some bushy eyebrow in all black and some sort of mask. So the eyebrow itself had a mask on and was wearing all black. That's amazing. That's all I remember. A figure in all black, which I believe was a person. I knew the person was white. I don't know how, but I just knew it. A figure in all black. I believe it was a person. Well, what else would it be? Murphy dressed up in a ninja outfit? There was like from what I think I remember, it was like a black mask, almost like a ski mask, but not. It's just like covered the head, and then maybe to the mouth, maybe more. I can't remember if it covered just the chin, the mouth, or the nose, or lower. And I think that's... Let's see. Was a direct witness who was able to consistently articulate the details she remembered throughout each interview. Yeah, she said the same thing all the time. Yeah, and so, you know, this is the one document. This is the one that shows like that he wrote the, you know, talks about Amazon. It brings up the... Now it's hard to find each of the documents. Like, which one was the one that had the where they mention... Well, I guess I have that one. When the Amazon orders. But here's his crime scene scenario final. You know, when you read this, he's a criminology student taught by one of his teachers was a serial killer expert, Ramsland, or whatever the hell it is. And then he writes this crime scene scenario final where he talks a lot about how not to contaminate the crime scene and what to wear to not do that. And then you have these Kohberger nut jobs wondering, how could anybody not? Well, this is exactly the type of person that would answer your question. You know, somebody with a criminology degree, with you know, it happens to know this type of stuff. I mean, look at this long thing. I mean, it starts right here. And it takes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Look at that. Like 12 pages. One line. Really a lot of stuff. And that's the DoorDash delivery in there. T-Mobile. I wonder if there's got to be some weird nugget out there that nobody's seen. You know what's interesting is almost all of this stuff would have been in the gag order, except it all came out in documents because there were motions ruled on, and it all came out. Now with the drawing. Which one was it? All right, guys. We need, if we can get another $36, we'll at least have sort of like an even number. All right, but we're just barely got over the goal earlier with. I mean, even with Cheryl Moran and Leon Littlejohn. Yeah, 324. Let me see. Okay, yeah, that one. Let me download this. I know I have this one. I've played it before. I just couldn't find it. There we go. There's Leon Littlejohn again. Thank you, Leon Littlejohn. It's not a dollhouse, Liz. Not sure what the hell you're talking about. Let's see. That's what the defense... Are you a Kohberger, Liz? Just curious. They're the ones that call it a dollhouse. This isn't a dollhouse. It's a 3D model. Where did I just put that? I don't even know where I just put that document. Was it in here? It's so weird. Yeah, it's under Kohberger, right? I'm in the right place. Yeah, wow, it's way down there. Jeez, that's crazy. That's another one of the bushy eyebrow ones? Oh, yeah. Huh. Guess I didn't find them all. Hey, thanks, Lisa L. Alright, Boosta got one. One arm. It's the one-armed man in the green delivery truck. Are they saying it's a delivery truck now? I think they're saying it's a lime green Elantra that under night vision appears to be white. And guess what, you guys? The guy lives in the same complex. So what this guy did that night was drive around for 50 minutes in this small, confined area because he thought it was fun. It had nothing to do with anything. And amazingly, he also parked right outside the 1122 King Road address for a 12-minute period when they were all killed. And then he drove away from his own house at a high rate of speed and left. And then he never came back again. Isn't that weird? Like that, the lime green Elantra never came back again, ever. Somehow, it must have been like a Star Trek Enterprise beamed the Elantra back into its parking spot at some other date that we're just not aware of at this point. It's amazing. God, it's a miracle. Wow. The photo of Mr. Kohberger, is this from the state? Comes now, that's Brian Kohberger. In the second interview on November 13, 2022, Dylan Mortensen was interviewed at the police department by Detective Mowry, who inquired about facial features and asked Dylan Mortensen if she knew what color the intruder's eyebrows were. Detective Mowry is the person who mentioned eyebrows, not Dylan Mortensen. In the third interview on November 17, 2022, Dylan Mortensen was interviewed by Detective Gooch, who asked Dylan Mortensen if she knew what a balaclava was and showed her a picture. In the fourth interview, in December 1st, 2022, Dylan Mortensen drew the mask for the interviewer. So they're saying that they're trying to imply that law enforcement fed Dylan Mortensen the concept of eyebrows and then also drew a picture for her, and now she's able to draw the same ones. What do you mean by? What happened? Were you here for a while there, Pamela? Or I didn't see any of your comments. Had you commented before? Pamela Dasgupta. See you later. Listen, my husband worked for Hyundai at the time that the white Elantra was made. Hyundai did not make the lime green Elantra for those years. Also, creeps me out thinking my husband would have helped build. Why does it creep you out that he helped build Elantras? That shouldn't creep any. It's just a car, you know. I'm not even sure that's a legitimate. Well, you know what? I'm not sure if I saw the back light that it's supposed to have on it when during the destruction, but there was this little irregular look that could have been the light, so it was hard to say. Are you sure about that? I don't know if she said that. I've got the whole thing in here. It's right here. Dylan Morton said Bethany said Xana was wearing all black. I'm freaking out. No, it was like a ski mask almost. Oh, there you go. I guess it does say that. I didn't remember that. So there you go. So she said it in her text messages. You're right. Good call there. Good call. I'm glad I have my little timeline comments in here. I'm freaking out. No, it's like a ski mask almost. Like he had something over his head and a little around his mouth. Isn't that amazing? So that's describing a balaclava right there. Even in that part. He had something a bit over his head, meaning like over his forehead and everything, and a little around his mouth. So like it kind of goes around his mouth, but you know, you could see his eyes through it. It's weird. I didn't remember that he said that. That she said, no, it's like a ski mask almost. And then described it a little bit. I wonder if it says that in here. It's not going to say that on the defense side. They want to make it seem like it was a planted idea. Thanks, Go Beaches. I just thought of it. I don't know. It's the car simply suspicious. The state argues that Dylan Mortensen is a reliable witness. Should the court apply the 5-factor Manson-Bigger balancing test to evaluate witness reliability, it should not ignore either the limited amount of time that Dylan Mortensen had to... Yeah, but you missed the text messages, so I guess that's always going to be in there. For the reason addressed above and Mr. Kohberger's initial brief, the court should grant Mr. Kohberger's motion in limine to exclude Dylan Mortensen from using the words bushy eyebrows. Yes, this is exhibit number 11. Come on. I just froze for some reason. Had to do a Control-Alt-Delete shutdown of that. Come on. What the hell's it doing? It just did it again. Long document, save time by reading. It's got a summary in here. Let's see. I think ChatGPT is so much faster than these guys. A copy of Dylan Mortensen's drawing attached. Oh, there it is. Motion in limine number 7. So Dylan Mortensen drew that picture, which is basically like that. And then his eyes would be coming out of there. That's what she drew. I wonder what this, why she has like this other part here. I wonder if it was sort of like a, I don't know. I don't know what that means. But she drew that. And so there you go. I mean, look. That's what she saw, and she drew that. I mean, that's pretty crazy, right? Like, see, this is what law enforcement, they can use an exhibit like this and say, this is what how we believe she saw the person, like this. All right? And you know, you'd have to make it more stick figure-y, I guess. But I mean, I don't know why you can't do that. It's a representation of what you thought. You know, like that's what she saw, a person wearing a balaclava. And maybe from that angle, maybe the door wasn't quite open as much as that. The white Elantra. Let's see how many views my video from earlier has. It was just puttering out already. What are we at? That video is now at 6.9, almost 7,000 views. It's above the bottom limit, but it's, you know, it's 5,700 to 9,400 views, and it's at 69. It's got 15 subs from it. That's pretty good. 1.1 thousand hours watched. I don't know. Cool. Maybe we should go over some comments on there. Maybe there's some interesting stuff on there. Said, let's see. I'm a 62-year-old female. Can't believe it. And this was one of the most disturbing and selfish murder crimes I've ever been exposed to. The other was Joseph James D'Angelo Jr. in Citrus Heights, California. I lived in Citrus Heights for years and had just moved to Oregon less than 2 years before they found him, very close to where I lived. Not sure what this is about. Joseph J. D'Angelo and Brian Kohberger give me the most creeps I could not imagine. Yeah. I'm a guilter 150%. I don't believe in any of the Kohberger nonsense. However, it will never not be insane to me that Dylan saw what she saw, didn't call 911, waited 8 hours, and did what she did, and yeah. See, for some people that bothers people, it doesn't bother me in the slightest. I get how she was thinking. And the thing is, the fact that you keep questioning it over and over and over again means that you're not really a guilter, okay? Because it means that you're still sort of wondering. Because if she had nothing to do with it, then who cares, right? Just accept it that people aren't all the same. Why wasn't there even one single scream? Not from Maddie, but definitely from Kaylee Gonzalez, maybe Xana or Ethan. No screams. Well, Ethan got killed the same way Madison, probably with almost nothing. Let's see. You got me so addicted to this, I'm not watching my regular normal subs. Okay, well, that's good. You're really good at this. I also believe you are pretty damn close to spot on. He is presumed innocent till proven guilty. Want to get sued? You can't get sued. Look at, he's been arrested for committing. He's been in jail for a long time. This is what the state's theory is, that he did it. So can he sue the state later? So he gets to sue the state for them saying that he... No, it's just garbage. These people... It's stupid. I'm putting out there what is in the evidence that we've seen, and I'm telling you what my opinion is. I'm sorry that you're ignorant and don't understand the case. Finally understood what Dylan Mortensen saw. Never understood how she saw... See, that's why I keep making these videos, you guys. See this? Like that right there? That shows you exactly what Dylan Mortensen saw. Alright? And there's so many people that still... I mean... That's why I keep getting all these subs from my videos, is because these are people who haven't seen what we've been putting out. So when people go, God, Gray, you did something similar already. Then don't watch, man. I'm trying to get it so that everybody out there can see it. And they're not exactly the same. There's differences. I'm trying to discuss some different element. And I'm sorry that you don't understand what the other element is because you get so sidetracked. But, it is what it is. But hey, guys, if you're out there right at the end of the show, if you can help support the channel, we got to get this night to be a better night to make up for yesterday, which was the lowest night in almost 2 months. And it was the first night of the month. Slow right out of the gate. When Grace said, when your brain heals. Is that what I said? I remember saying that. Your work is very helpful. Let's see. Yet again, amazing work. Thanks so much. Your work is very helpful for the public understanding of this terrible crime. I think that's exactly what I try to do. With this setup, where was the blood coming from that was flowing on the... I've shown that 1,000 times. It's coming off the wall that Ethan Chapin is laying on, the bed there. Let's see if this person got it right. Xana's wall in the back, the wall... Jesus. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I just wanted to remove it. That's not right. You gotta remove the ones that are incorrect. On the wall to Ethan's left while he is laying on the bed. There you go. In front of the house, that lot was full of cars. He had to have known there were other people in the house. Yeah, he did. I don't get these people, man. God. That made me sad, those poor kids. Down where the car is parked is where I think he went into the house because it is less steeper. Like and comment. See you tonight on the live. I am thankful you give us this visual. Great work. At least wait for the man to be convicted before standing or slandering his name in such a way. Very distasteful. You ain't even getting enough views, LOL. What is that? What? Yeah, you're right. I'm not getting enough views. You are correct about that. But it has nothing to do with that. I like that you don't get stuck on one theory and seem open-minded. Thanks, Gray. I don't think Xana went upstairs to see what was going on, but I guess we'll find out. It is such a stretch to believe anything the two remaining roommates say. They are not believable. Yeah, whatever. Alright. Yep, I gave it a shot, you guys. I gave it a shot. And we still just have those 2 coffees. Alright, anyways, thank you to Joe Ellen, Bracken. I was going to work on a model, but I got to go work on something else. Patty Mills, Deidre Gambrel, and just absolutely struggling up until that. And then Leon Littlejohn gifted 10 memberships in a row. Then DeAndre Gambrel, then Leon Littlejohn gifted another one. Then KME, then Leon Littlejohn gifted another membership. Then Deidre Gambrel, Leon Littlejohn gifted one. Then Deidre Gambrel did again. Thank you, Deidre. And Sandy Shirley gifted one. Then Shamo. Then Shay 530, Leon Littlejohn gifted one. Then Mindy gifted one. Then KME. Then Don't Be a Dumpster Fire gifted 5. Then KME, Michelle H, Mindy, RMB gifted 1. Then Simply Suspicious Shauna, DJ Gambrel. Then Leon Littlejohn gifted 5 more. Then I gifted 5. Then Leon Littlejohn gifted 1. Then he gifted another one. And then Lisa. So, I don't know. don't have anywhere else to, nothing else to talk about. I mean, if you guys have some questions, I can answer those, but go ahead and throw out some questions. And then thanks to Lisa Valenzuela and Leon Littlejohn on the coffees. I'm just not sure what's going on. You know, it's like makes me very nervous. You know, when I do these shows and, you know, you feel like it was just pure, you know, like it's not really sustainable where, you know, I don't know how to explain it. You know, I'm trying my best to do what we've been doing for years. Seem to be okay. You know, the economy's doing pretty good right now. It's not, you know, inflation actually, I'm not sure. I think it didn't even rise this last month. But, you know, shit still costs too much, I guess. Yeah, cool, GGB. Sweet. No questions? No, I guess not. Alright, see you guys.
Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like...
Oh yeah, but I think it also has, I think it doesn't list Cheryl Moran's on there for some reason, but I want to say thanks to Cheryl Moran. What's this thing up here? Does it even show up on here? Yeah, see, it's weird. Doesn't even show up on, look at this thing right here. Here's the, here, let me show you guys this. So here's this thing, you know, you can just show the, you know, I guess that's what makes it kind of tough. Like those nights when there isn't any of the 10s or 20s or anything, just one up here, makes it hard to reach a goal. But you have this one up here is Cheryl Moran. It never made it into YouTube's little thank thing down here. See that? It's pretty weird. Yeah. So anyways, wanted to say thanks to Cheryl Moran. Very kind, very kind. I don't know why it's not on there though. I'm pretty sure the roommates are testifying.
Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, flag rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Grego's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temple fucking checked ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. Alright, everybody? Talk to you later.